So I got a comment asking me to maybe do a video about either games, anime, or light novel recommendations that I like. And I got you, my friend. I got you. Let's start with anime. My favorite two anime in the entire world, and we're gonna have some honorable mentions as well, are both Kill la Kill and Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. Now, if you don't know these two animes, you might not know that they are made from the same people. Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann was made by Studio Gainax, I think they were called, and then the studio basically refounded itself with most of the original people, and they are now called Studio Trigger. And if you watch any amount of anime, that name means something to you, right? They made The Darling in the Franxx. They recently made Dungeon Meshi. Oh my freaking god. Studio fucking Trigger is insane. Especially Kill la Kill was the first anime they made when they became Studio Trigger. And I loved that show so much. I watched it twice in English and twice in Japanese. So I watched it 4 or 5 times already. The comedy is on point. The graphic and the combat is on point. The power levels are on point. The music. Don't lose your way in the dark is on point as well. We love it. Of course, there's a lot of fan service in it, which some people might get put off on. But let us be honest and realistic for a second. They have such a good reason to have the fan service in the way they do, which they explain later on in the story. When you get to the point where they explain it, your mind gets blown. And you cannot explain it to other people earlier because A, it would be a big spoiler, and B, the payoff would not be as great if you didn't watch through all of the episodes until that point. Then let us talk about, oh my god, there's a fly on my wall. It's a different fly from before. It's tinier, but it's still here. Let's ignore the fly. I tried to hit it with my knuckles, and that was not a good idea. Anyhow, let me drink something. Let's talk about light novels. And I only really have one big light novel recommendations, because I'm going to be honest, even though I have a lot of light novels, I have not read all of them. One of them is called The Empty Box of Zero of Maria. I think the physical copies might be out of print. I don't know if they did a reprint, and they're very expensive now, and I'm so glad I have all of them. But it's a combination of a mystery story with a slice of life story as well, but mystery is in the focus. I can't really explain anything about it, right? I don't even think that this story could be told in anything other than the book. It cannot be really told in a manga. There might be a manga version of it, but there's no way it's as good. And it might not even work as an anime, which I think it's one of the reasons it doesn't have an anime just yet, even though it's one of the most highest rated visual novels, light novels ever created. It has 7 volumes. I've read through the first 2, but every single volume so far can work as a standalone story as well, with a new mystery, which is very great. And the first one in particular, even if you don't want to read all 7, first of all, 7 volumes for a light novel is actually very small. Most of them have fucking 30. Even if you don't want to read all 7, the first one alone is worth reading. It's so freaking good. Just go to some website or buy the EPUB or whatever, buy the ebook version of it. You can find it, read it, let me know how you liked it. Gaming. I like a lot of roguelike games and a lot of indie games. There's also some AAA games I do play. Honestly, not that much. Most of them are from Nintendo or either Final Fantasy. I play a lot of JRPGs, or I used to play a lot of JRPGs before my attention span fucking tanked down the ground. Nowadays, I play a lot of gacha games, and I'm currently playing a lot of Wuthering Waves, and I'm obsessed with that fucking game. I even played some today. You should really give Wuthering Waves a try. It's very good. Other than that, Hades 2 recently came out, or at least the early access version of it, and that one is very, very cool. Games I played in the past a lot, Tales of Symphonia, I played more than once. Going back to anime, actually, oh my god, my ADHD is in full throttle right now. The honorable mentions I was talking about, number 1, Death Note. I know it's a basic bitch choice, but I'm a basic bitch, what can you do? I watched that one in English and in Japanese multiple times. I must have seen it 6 times, honestly, altogether. I just love the story. Even though all the mysteries out of there, it's just a comfort show that I can just watch and watch and watch and watch, and it's amazing. And the second honorable mention for anime has to be Code Geass. or Code Geass if you want to be fancy and say it like that. I've also watched it not quite as many times as Death Note because it's like 3 seasons or whatever and it's longer, but I must have seen like every single episode like 3 times. I watch it both again in English and in Japanese because if you rewatch a show already, right, might as well try out the different language and see how it compares, right? I love that story. I love the whole story. I love the whole fights. I love the whole political thing. Like the intrigues and stuff. And talking about, I'm throwing in a freebie right here. Let's talk about TV fucking shows. Game of Thrones. Now, some of you might hear Game of Thrones and are like, oh my god, you will only have the 8th season and that's the only thing you can think of again. And my hair's in my face again. I hate it. And yes, the 8th season got ruined. And even the 7th one is not that good. But Game of Thrones, season 1 to season 4 is peak fantasy show telling. 5 and 6 are okay. 7 is like, 8 is like, but still, I've watched through the first few seasons so many times. I started Game of Thrones pretty late when already 3 seasons were out. So I watched the 3 seasons and I got pretty lucky that pretty soon after I was done with the 3rd season, the 4th season came out. And then basically from that point on, before every new season would get released, I would watch through all of the episodes from all of the seasons before that again. So before 5 came out, I watched through 1 through 4. Before 6 came out, I watched through 1 through 5. And so on and so on and so on. And ever since all 8 seasons are out, I watch through all of them again. And then I tried again. And I think nowadays, like, the air might be a little bit out there. It's a little bit deflated. There's no dopamine in it because I tried again and only really got all the way through like season 3 and then I stopped and lost my interest. But I still love that show. I still sometimes look up some highlights of their Doctor Who as well. But the video is long enough. I will see you next time.